Good morning and welcome back. So, the last couple of days I have not been feeling the best. I still don't feel the best, but I needed to get this video out of the way. So, I am just sitting here before I have to start work. Now, what I have out is my my very small A5 collection. I don't have a lot of A5s. I have an A5 Carpe Diem in the closet, but I really don't use it. It's de-ringed. I had a like a study book in there for something that I was using, and it's just buried somewhere in the back of the closet. But this one lives on my desk. This is my neck mitt that I got on Amazon, and I decided to try it out. So I have a whole video on this one, so I won't talk too much about this, but that's the neck mitt. And it was on Amazon. I paid like $28 for it. I think it's back up to like 56, so it was 50% off for a while when I shared it. But this is an A5. So I brought it out for comparison, really. And this is the neck mitt A5 versus a Franklin Covey Classic size. So as you can see, they are the same size. It's underneath here. The Franklin Covey is a tiny bit taller. You probably can't see from that angle, but it's under there. So this one, again, if you want to see an in-depth video, I have a whole video on that one. Now, this is the Franklin Covey Aurora in the classic size. Now, it does have its own special punch because this one is the one that has 7 rings. So I will walk you through this one, how I have it set up. It kind of has remained untouched because it is so big. So this is not something that I would want to travel back and forth with. If you see how my hand is wrapped around here, that is huge. So it basically just lives here on my desk. So to give you a better idea of how big this thing actually is, here's the ruler. So it's about 2 inches tall. It is like 9.5 inches. Okay, so let me just correct myself. It's 9 inches tall, about 9.5. You might hear my cat in the background because he's in the window, like chirping at birds. He does this different like meow when he's looking at birds, and it's so funny. So this is about 7.75 wide, and then the depth is about 2 inches. So this thing is literally humongous. This one definitely has a lot more of a slimmer profile. If you, yeah, this is probably not going to work. If you put them like side by side like this, you can see it's a lot slimmer. But this thing is huge, which is fine. I absolutely adore it. I love it. And it is one that I wanted in the compact size, which I could never find. And it's a leather planner. It is a very expensive leather planner. It's like $200. So I will tell you, this is not for sale. Please, please, please do not comment asking me if I'm going to sell it. The answer is no. Even though I don't use it much, I will never part ways with this because when I tell you I look for deals, I am a divorced single mom, so I am always looking for deals because I always put my son's needs first. So then my wants, all these planners, when I come across a great deal, I cannot pass it up. So this one, it was listed and I put in an offer because you can do that on Mercari. I sell a ton of planners on Mercari, and take advantage of that make offer button unless it's something that you don't want to risk losing, because the seller does have 24 hours to accept your offer or to counter or decline it altogether. So in the meantime, if somebody buys it, then you lose out on it. I sell on there, and most of the time whenever somebody makes me an offer just because I want to get rid of it, I accept the offer. So coming from a seller, we do accept offers. So it was listed. I don't even want to tell you guys what I paid, but maybe then you'll understand why I will never sell it. This planner cover goes for The last time I looked a couple of years ago, because I want to say I got this like maybe a year and a half ago or longer, it was selling for 200. And we know with inflation, everything has gone up. So it was listed at $25. I made an offer because you can select an amount, you can type in an amount, but it does have to be a minimum. She ended up offering me it for $19. So I paid $19 for this. I paid 10%, less than 10% of the selling price. So I will never sell this. It will always just remain in my collection, because I will never get such an amazing deal as that ever again in my life. So with this one, again, it is huge, but I do love it. It's great for like home study. So I was asked in a comment to show my study Bible. I can give you just like a little glimpse. I am waiting on a new cover that I got. It's a pink leather cover, and I will be setting up a brand new one because the one that I currently have, I have been using for 8 years. So I kind of just want to start fresh because my color coding was all over the place, because I would fall in love with a certain color highlighter and then that would be discontinued, like the brand or something like that. So there's so many different colors in that Bible. That is why I ended up, and I have sticky notes all over it. That's why I ended up getting these. These are a classic. They will always sell these. Even if I can't find it at Walmart, I can head over to Walgreens or CVS and I will always be able to find Sharpie, and they're the same color. So sometimes they may change the cap design, but I will always be able to find these colors. So that's why when I was choosing highlighters for my study Bible, I ended up getting a classic. And I wanted multiple colors, so I didn't want just like the big yellow. So with this here, when they describe the rings, they do it in inches. So this is, I want to say like a 1.5 inch ring. It could even be 2. But I will measure it when I open it up. It's huge. So it does have the slide here. And as you can see, it literally has been sitting. It sits in this leopard ottoman that I have against my wall. But I have my Ollie U clip up there. And then the way that I have it set up inside is because it does have it's the purple. So I took a piece of scrap paper and I just cut it up and just stuck it in here just to have something to look at. I have a Bic yellow highlighter, everyday classic, right? And then there's 2 pen loops, one on the front and then one on the back. So I just have this here. It has this long pocket that is not open at the top. It has a zipper pocket here, and then like this secretarial flap that opens outward like that. Does have the identification window if you were to put your ID in here. So, I mean, if I was going to work and I had this, like I would put, my ID in here, like my work badge or something, but for the moment, that's how it's set up. So with this clear piece, I ended up die cutting this with my Cricut and then putting it down. And for a little bit, I had my handle at Barbie Loves Paper. So yeah, Barbie Loves Paper. So I did have that handle for a little bit. That's why that's there. It came with this. As you can see, the rings are 7. So it has a special punch. So I did have to buy the special punch, which is fine. I got that on Mercari as well for like $10. So between the two, it really was not bad at all. So yeah, the rings are 1.5 inches. They are a gold. I absolutely adore gold rings with certain colors. So in a planner, like if I have a blue, if I have a brown, I love the contrast of the gold. I don't know why, because when it comes to jewelry, I am white gold or silver. So when it comes to certain colors like the purple and the gold, it just goes so well together. And then this is a Franklin Covey zip thing that I have here with a bunch of sticky notes and washi cards. And then in here, I have, these were my business cards, Barbie Loves Paper. So yes, that was why, because I did my little Etsy shop and my small business, Barbie Loves Paper, because it was a paper crafting business. I made like cards, gift tags, stuff like that. And then I just have a bunch of gold clips here, so in case I need to use any of those. It does have the Franklin Covey ruler, and it's kind of like a magnifier too, I believe. I think that's what this is, because it always looks weird to me. But then I have the person who I bought this from, they did send all of these sheets. So I have all of those in there, and these are just for notes. Now, this I was just writing like about missing my mom because my mom had passed away a couple of months before that. This is some journaling. I had done some setups because sometimes I'll just put stickers and I'll have my washi, and then I'll just go in and I'll do page setups, but then I won't go back and use them. So that's what I was doing with those. And then this was study notes from like my meetings, my spiritual meetings. So that's why I was talking about my Bible, because usually when I was on Zoom doing my meetings, I would be making notes here. Now that I got the iPad keyboard case, I kind of just type it into notes because I have an iPhone. So with the iPad, I love it because you can have two things up at once. So I have my Bible over here to reference the scriptures, and then I have my notes on this side. So I have both going at once so I can look up the scriptures as I am typing in my notes. So that is what this kind of started off as. And then the person included these as well. So they're undated. I typically don't use these because I cannot do a calendar this big. I do not have that important of activities going on that would warrant me ever using something this big. But I keep them in here because the rings are ginormous. But then this is just plain paper notes that I ended up getting on Amazon, I want to say. And they have the rounded corners here, but then the straight edge. I don't know, it was different, but I said, okay, whatever, I went with it. And then I punched him in. So if I needed to make anything my own, it is very easy because it's basically a half letter size. So I just can print out a page, cut it in half, and then punch. And then it does have this last one back here. And then it does have this large pocket. So if you wanted to put like a big notebook, like a legal pad or something, and then it has these. So I just stuck that in there, and then another pen loop. And then it does tell you down here, it's Franklin Covey, however you want to say it. It gives you like the number and then where it's made in China. So that, I can't even open it or close it. And then it does have this outer pocket back here as well. So I like that. The only thing, there was one thing on it, and I think that's why she made a lower offer than what I was offering her. Because it has like a little scratch right there. But I myself ended up indenting it at the top because in the ottoman, where it has like the spring on the side, it was closed on here for a while. So, I mean, that doesn't bother me. I did it. I know I did it. But I did want to talk about this one because, I mean, it is a beautiful planner. It's just very large. You know what I mean? It's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I've been thinking about it a lot now that I have my Bible cover coming to use it in conjunction with it. So I probably will go back to using that to accompany it. I do have my planner pouch still. It's sitting next to where I'm trying to get to my Bible. So as far as my Bible, I am a very colorful person, in case you haven't noticed yet. So I had this cover made by one of my friends on Instagram that I have been friends with for a long time. And she made this cover for me, and then also this bookmark charm. So it just slides into the top, and then it has these little beads at the bottom. So I've been using this. I had this cover made maybe like 4 years ago. I have one on my large Bible, my small, so we have 3 different sizes, and we have a small, medium, and a large. So I have one on all of them, and I have the bead bookmark on all of them. But I'm like, okay, it's time for me to just have like a more professional looking cover. So I ordered like a dark pink leather and very reasonably priced. So I have that coming. But I also sold a planner so that I could buy it. So I kind of try to do things like that if I want something that is really not in the budget, because let's face it, we all have to budget at some point or another, right? So with this one, I mean, I have notes in here about different things. I've got sticky notes at the ready. This is a little like Bible cover clip that she also made me. And then like I have Bible tabs that I bought and printed. But I mean, I have sticky notes and highlights all over this thing. It, you know, I just go in and I use it to study, you know what I mean? So I don't just use it to open it up. It is used, it is well worn in. And just thinking about moving into a new one kind of stresses me out a little bit, to be honest, because I've used this for so long that I know where my favorite scriptures are, but I want to start fresh. So then in the back, I just have more notes. But I basically, it is stressing me out a little bit because this is it. So this is going to live on my desk. Still, it's not going to go away. I'm not going to do anything with it. It's going to remain with me. But I just have a feeling I'm going to end up moving this whole one into the new cover because it's hard for me to let this go. But I do want new tabs, but this time I want to get like laminated tabs because these are sticky paper tabs. And as you can see, they've folded over, they've gotten crushed from being in my bag, being carried. So that's why I kind of just want to start fresh and new. But then just the thought, it really gives me a lot of anxiety because this is home. You know what I mean? I do have the big one. Like I said, I have the pocket size that stays in my car. It has the same cover, the same exact tabs. My large size, that one is like for desk type study. And then that has the same tabs and the same cover as well. So they're all uniform. I don't mind getting rid of this cover. I actually had a different cover on it for a little bit, a dark gray cover, but I was like, you know what, this is the year I want a pink one. So I might just put that wraparound cover on here when it comes. I don't know how I'm going to end up doing it, but these tabs are so ingrained in here that if I try to take them out, it's going to ruin the Bible pages themselves. So that's why I kind of want to start fresh and new, and I want to start reading the Bible from the very beginning again. So cover to cover. And then that way I can start fresh with all my notes and my highlights. And I have tons of vellum that I'm thinking that I can use to kind of just use as a base to kind of like tape. So what I would probably do is just print, like cut down to size a bunch of them and just stick it at the top of the page. And then just any sticky notes that I have, just stick them on there. That's kind of an idea. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but we will see. But I did get asked to kind of do a flip, but, you know, that's the flip that I'm comfortable with. So I do want to thank you so much for watching, and I will catch up with you guys soon.